Hello, brothers and sisters. We the brothers from the Gathering of Christ Church. We're going into a good topic today, dealing with the understanding or teachings of Easter. This time of year, you go to your stores, you go into your supermarkets, you will see eggs, the dyeing of eggs. You'll see bunnies, little yellow bunnies, and people planning the Easter egg hunt and dunking eggs. These festivities, these family festivities that allow the people to come together. Easter Sunday, everyone come together in remembrance of Jesus Christ getting crucified, rising on a third day, or what the church called Easter Sunday. So you might ask yourself, what do bunnies, eggs, and Christ have to do with each other? Why you have some churches dealing with Easter egg hunts, or have everybody coming on Easter Sunday. And I used to wonder, even though the calendar changed each year and the days change each year, you notice Easter Sunday, Easter always falls on a Sunday, regardless of what the calendar is. Easter falls on a Sunday. You have Good Friday, Easter Sunday. So we're going to go into the teachings. Where do Easter come from? Do the day Easter have anything to do with Jesus Christ? Was pagans or Gentiles following the worship of Easter before Christ was born? All these and more will be answered for you. Where's the first place you see the word Easter? We're going into the Holy Bible, the King James Version, the regular King James Holy Bible, the same Bible you may have on your mantelpiece. And we're going to go into the word Easter and see if it's in the Bible. Let's go to Acts 12 and 4.
Acts 12 and 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quadrants of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
Intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. We found out through study that that word Easter was put in the Bible because the Catholic Church integrated pagan worship, which is the goddess Star or Easter, with Christianity or the words of the Bible. So in order to give credence to their holiday, they took out the word Passover there and put in the word Easter. So how do we know this? Now, we don't own any printing presses. This is the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Okay? And in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, I highlighted where it says Easter, in parentheses, it says Passover. Rendered Easter in Acts 12 and 4. But correctly translated Passover. Okay? Alright. So now, if it was correctly translated, if you go into the Greek, the word Passover was really there. You may ask yourself, if the churches or the mother church is dealing with Christ, why would they purposely omit the festival that Christ was dealing with? He was actually crucified on the night of the Passover. Why would they purposely omit the Passover, the days the Israelites were dealing with? You know the Passover that came down in Egypt and killed the firstborn, that didn't put the blood of the people that didn't put the blood on their doors. That Passover represented liberation for God's people out of Egypt. Later on, it represented Christ being the Passover, him giving up his flesh, him giving his blood for the sins of his people on Passover night. Sitting down with the disciples, letting them know to do this in remembrance of him. Now, if the churches are dealing with the Spirit of Christ, why would they diabolically This is a diabolical tactic. Why would they take the word Passover out of Acts and just slip in the word Easter? Maybe the pagans were dealing with the Easter god or the goddess Astarte. We'll see. Give me Job 13 and 4. Job 13 and 4. Because we know they that would worship Christ or God must worship him in spirit and in truth. Read Job 13 and 4 for me, please.
But ye are forgers of lies.
They are what?
But ye are forgers of lies.
They are forgers of lies. So you would have an institution sit down and forge new teachings in the book to give credence or authority to a Gentile teaching. Let's get 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. And read that. Read that.
But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils.
The Lord said the things that the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils. So in 325 AD, when the Roman Catholic Church or the Romans integrated Christianity with paganism, they did that so that they can allow the masses or teach the masses to sacrifice to these new gods or devils. Read that again.
But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God.
And not to God. They're just using God's name. And they do this because if they was to tell you, listen, you're following Satan, the masses would not follow it willingly. So they slip God and Christ in so you can willingly follow Satan. Satan himself appears as an angel of light. Read on.
And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils.
So the Lord don't want his people or his followers to have any fellowship with devils. I know some people will say, well, I know that Easter don't have anything to do with Christ, but I'm doing it in remembrance of Christ. I know Christmas don't have nothing to do with Christ, but I do it in remembrance of Christ. Well, if you know it doesn't have anything to do with Christ, how can you bring Christ in it? Okay, you're just as guilty as the Catholic Church, who put Easter in his Holy Bible when the word was Passover. You can't make new days and excuse it. The Lord didn't make the world so that you can excuse it for yourself. He made the world so that you can follow him. You can't fit God into your program. Read.
Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
You can't say you're down with God, but dealing with a day that was purposely set up to worship devils or demons or demonic forces. I don't care how good you worship. If you're doing it on a day that was set up to follow a demonic god, you're following that demonic god. Read.
Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
You cannot say I'm down with Jesus Christ or down with God and you're partaking and sitting down at the table with the devil. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Now, let's examine that for a second. You show me where the disciples were celebrating Easter. You can't find it. You show me where Christ rose on Easter Sunday. We're going to show you, you cannot find it. You cannot get 3 days between Good Friday and Sunday.